for Distant Dining, we actually have a celebrity chef. And no, this is not a joke. It sounds like a joke when I say stuff, but it's not. We have celebrity chef Jay Ponder. You might have seen him on Chopped. You might have seen him on Cutthroat Kitchen. I'm talking about like a real celebrity chef. I actually met him on the set of Sister Circle. It's a show here in Atlanta. It's not on anymore, but I met him on set and he had the whole set smelling delicious. And, you know, I like a good meal. So we became instantly friends. And so Celebrity Chef Jay Ponder is going to walk me. Snookabuka hopped in there on there with me. He's going to walk us through some lamb chops and greens. Chef Jay Ponder, take it away.
Cannabis infused lamb chops. Here we go. Remove the fat cap, take off the silver skin. The silver skin is actually no good. A lot of connective tissue, super chewy. Get rid of that real quick. Clean it up a little bit more. Fat cap gone. Let's remove the pieces around the bone, which is called Frenching, which is an awesome technique. Also with my Frenching technique, I take wet paper napkins and I wrap those around the bones to keep the bones nice and white and clean. I'm going to also season my meat with keef salt. That's right, I made my own keef salt. I'm going to leave the ingredients below how to make keef salt. There it is. And some regular mustard to hold on to breadcrumbs. There it is. I'm going to quickly flash fry this rack of lamb just to get the brown look going on there. I'm not going to keep it too long, a couple minutes. I'm going to finish it off in the oven later, actually. That looks awesome. Lamb. One more quick peek at that. Boom. And that's halfway cooked, not at all ready to go. Let's get into the cannabis butter. This batch of flour that I use is a Kush blend, OG Kush blend, which is a nice blend of sativa and indica. There's the butter. I'm going to melt the butter down. You want to remove all the milk and water solids from that butter. You want pure butter. I'm going to take my decarb marijuana right here. Boom, there it is, decarb. I'm going to let that steep inside the butter. I'm going to allow the decarb flour to steep in this butter for about 25 to 30 minutes. And after that, I'm going to strain, drain, and you have cannabis butter. The cannabis butter was applied to the lamb later in the demonstration.
Okay, so for this segment of Distant Dining, we have celebrity chef. You probably already seen him before because he's been on cooking shows, but we have celebrity chef Jay Ponder. I met him on the set of Sister Circle, right? Like he was cooking up something amazing on set there. He had the whole place smelling delicious. But Chef Jay Ponder, he's been on multiple sets, cooking shows, and he cooks a different style. Like when he cooked for he cooked for me my birthday, and he made everything. Was it with salt? Just different types of salt, right? Or how?
Yeah, all I used was just salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, some fresh herbs. You had all your fresh aromatics, your garlic and your onions, and just really, flavorful.
It was unbelievable. Like when he told me that after I was eating that, everything he made was with salt and pepper. I was like, no way. Not the salt and pepper that I use in my kitchen. It doesn't taste anything like that. But today we got Snookabuka with us because, we got Cook with Snook. She usually handles the Distant Dining, sending us cookies and pastries. So she's having a seat too with us here today. Chef Jay Ponder, what are you cooking for us?
Today we got some herb crusted lamb and we got some delicious southern collard greens with some smoked turkey neck. It's going to be a pretty flavorful lunch today.
Okay, so walk me through it. Snookabuka, feel free to comment, ask questions. She's the real cook here. I know nothing about cooking, but walk us through the process.
Okay, first, let me just say, lamb is a very difficult meat to cook, and a lot of people won't fool with it. Now, I don't cook much lamb, but I had a sister who was famous for doing her lamb roast, and I know that it takes a lot of patience and time to clean lamb to make it edible. So at any rate, hats off to you for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so Chef, what's the process? Snook already told us that it's a hard process, so let us know, what's the process?
So the process, when you take lamb, I use, so this right here is rack of lamb. You have lamb chops, you have, as she mentioned before, the loin or the roast part of it. But the crazy thing about doing rack of lamb is the cleaning process. I mean, it's silver skin, fat caps, and everything in between. And this part right here is actually the tenderloin. So just like with cows and beef, they have tenderloins. This is the main muscle that runs down the back piece of it. It's the most delectable, the most selected piece of any type of protein. So with the rack of lamb, again, the cleaning process is very tedious. So something should be done a day before ahead of time. But once you get it cleaned up, and it takes to whatever seasoning too. So with this, I just did, and you have a portion there with yourself. So
yes, I do. Sorry, Snookabuka. I do have a plate here that I will be trying. I'm gonna try to wait till the end.
So I mean, so like with lamb, it takes to whatever flavor you put on it. So just a little bit of like salt and pepper. I took some mustard, French's mustard. I lathered it in mustard and I rolled it in some breadcrumbs. Now the opposite process then, of course, is your egg wash mixture and flour. But this is a lot more clear, and the mustard adds extra flavor to it too. So I sear it or fry it real quick, pull it out, pop it in the oven for about 25, 30 minutes, and then it's ready to go. In this process today, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reintroduce it back to the pan to bring up their crispiness a little bit, and then give you guys a nice plating demonstration.
Ooh, I love it. Let's see it. Let's see it. And what kind of, how is that cooked? Because I can see a little pink there. It looks like it's cooked to perfection. What temp is that cooked on?
This right here is about a mid-well. This is a mid-well.
Okay.
You typically want to stay with the mid-well, the medium rares. A lot of people like to eat it well done. I mean, you know, it's up to the people. You know what I mean? So
I know it's up to the people, but well done to me is, if you don't eat it right when it comes out the oven, it's gonna be chewy, hard. You definitely can't reheat anything that's well done. So to me, I get the most flavor when it's medium well. Snook, how do you eat yours?
Medium well.
Okay, so that's you making it just how we like it, Chef.
That's good. Hey, if you remember on your birthday, the salmon I had made was about the same temperature point too.
And you know what happened? What happened to that salmon?
It didn't make it. None of it made it. None of it made it.
Pour that plate up.
Smash the whole plate. You know what I mean? So, you know what? One cool thing about doing the lamb chops, you can crust them or you can grill them. I mean, who doesn't like grilled food? I prefer grilled lamb. I think as the season changes, you see more of that on my social media page, a lot more grilling food. You can smoke them. Lamb is just full of flavors regardless. So I'm excited to use the product.
I'm excited. Snookabuka, y'all grill like everything, right? So this is right down your alley when we talk grill, right?
Yes. And I want to thank Chef Ponder for stepping in for me on your birthday.
Oh, I got you back. I had you back. You know what's crazy? I found out later that Renee is actually a secretive, renowned food critic. So I'm glad I didn't know that ahead of time. I'd have been nervous, but I think everything went off well as you enjoyed it.
Listen, so I told Chef about how Snook is the same. I've played overseas for 10 plus years, so we've tried cow tongue. We've tried everything that you could try. And we're used to like a certain freshness overseas, and in America it's a different type of freshness. Like we have preservatives and everything here in America, but overseas it's like your food goes bad in 2 days. I used to be frustrated because I had to go to the grocery store every other day, but then again it's like, well, I am getting fresh food, so yeah, that's so I'm used to it. And Snookabuka, she actually has her own garden. Snookabuka, and what's in your garden? What do you make in your garden? It's like everything.
Well, starting the season, I have asparagus. I have an asparagus garden, so I grow asparagus, and then I go into the spring crops like kale, collards, mustard. I love mustard greens. That's one of my favorites. And I do the Swiss chard, and then I go into the summer vegetables with the green beans and tomatoes and peppers and watermelon and all of that. So I pretty much try to grow a little bit of everything that I buy at the grocery store in my garden.
Greens, beans, tomatoes, chicken. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Snookabuka. Okay, Chef. All right, let's see something. Let's see it get seared up. What you got for us?
Again, this is lightly breaded, lightly crusted. All right, I got a little bit of oil in here. It's important to pan sear with minimum oil. Any more oil like this right here would be deep fried. We don't want to deep fry the product. It's already a beautiful product, right? So we're gonna bring it up a little bit of temperature, lay it down, and that sound, that's perfect right there. That's the sound we want to hear right here. That is the sound we need. Look at that. Nice and hot.
See, that's the sound. That to me, that sounds like dinner's almost ready. I'm hungry.
Absolutely. And one of the key things with searing is you want to have your heat low and slow. Everything is done low and slow. And it only takes a second to kind of sear off that crust. Beautiful.
Look
Beautiful.
at that. Look at that.
That is
Ooh.
delicious right there. And we're going to pair it with some smoked greens, collard greens, that is.
Mm. That's a southern green, and it's good.
And here's a huge fan. I've become a huge fan of using peanut oil lately. It lasts a lot longer. It's just a lot better than me personally. But if you have a nut allergy, of course, you use vegetable oil. But the peanut oil is perfect for me.
Okay, so yeah, obviously, if you have a nut allergy, you can't use that. But peanut oil that's like the frying. That's a good frying oil.
Yep. Just the life expectancy, if you will, on the peanut oil lasts a little bit longer, especially during like Thanksgiving. Most people fry their turkeys in peanut oil.
Oh, blow up the house.
And you can fry at high temperatures with it, which makes it a lot better with all the smoke and everything. I use peanut oil a lot when I try to braise and do things like that.
Okay.
Yep, that is absolutely true. And it has what's called a very high smoke point, as she mentioned just now. So now that these are re-crisp up in that delicious oil, we're going to go to the plating process.
Delicious.
Cool. Now with plating,
this is my favorite part. So this is like, as you're getting stuff set up, this is like on the cooking shows where they're telling everybody to hurry up, get something on the plate, plate it. Like, this is my favorite part when they're like getting the stuff together and trying to get it on there in time. And I'm like, get something on the plate before you don't even get into competition. So this is definitely got to be one of my favorite parts about all of the cooking experiences, like the plating aspect.
and you know what? When I was on Food Network, when I was on Chop, and I did Cutthroat Kitchen, like that, it's real time. Like the time.
Let me just stop you right there real quick. I know you guys heard that. Yes, he was on Chopped. Yes, he was on Cutthroat Kitchen. Cutthroat Kitchen is one of my favorite ones, where they sabotage each other, and it's so fun. But I just wanted you guys to let you know, when I said celebrity chef, this was no cap. We have celebrity chef Jay Ponder. I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, appreciate that. Plug.
You already know.
That plate time, man, is so important that you constantly think how you're gonna plate, And our plates as chef is a blank canvas, so we are truly artists. For my plating, and it's different plating technique, different chefs. You get the super foo stuff, the real pretty stuff that you don't want to touch it to eat it. I favor more rustic style plating. So you just dive in there and eat it. I make it look cute, but at the same time,
you may look a little cute or whatever.
So
I like it.
These greens actually come from my mom. My mom has a garden too. She do greens and cabbage and potatoes and herbs. So with plating, very, very important. You want to go to the center of the plate. Why go to the center of the plate? Good question. Because it keeps all of the food, all the heat kind of located right in the middle of the plate. Also, height. I'm gonna put a lot of height in it. So I put the greens up really high and tall for height. Come with the lamb chops here. I'm gonna intertwine those two. And then those two right here in the front. And bam, there it is.
Would you look at this TP perfection right there? So Walker, what do you think about that?
I think it's awesome. And one of the things going back to the shows is that, when you cook a meat, you sear it and all that, you have to time it perfectly because meat has to rest for a certain amount of time so the juices retain. So that's really a hard job to do the plating and all of that. You don't want to, them to cut into it too soon.
Look at what
you know what you're talking about. I like, bring her back on it. I like this.
You better talk that talk. Yeah, so you let it rest. So now the moment of truth, as I told you right here, I have my little sample compliments of Chef Jay Ponder. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Dive in, baby, dive
Mm,
in.
I had some.
So I know,
Making
Snook.
my mouth water.
I'm sorry, Snookabuka, you're in West Virginia. So I'm gonna taste the greens first. Have
Okay,
a
I'm
little try.
gonna get in there with you. Let me get in there with you.
Okay.
And you know, when I was cooking greens back when they were growing up, I had to cook like a canner full of them because my girls ate greens by the plateful.
Oh yeah, I eat them by the bowls. I throw a little vinegar. I don't even gotta put no I don't even put no vinegar on his, but I throw a little vinegar on it. It's a pour.
Yeah.
The tomatoes and
Hot
onions.
sauce. You know what? I put fresh onions and tomatoes on mine. It's a Georgia favorite thing in Georgia. You put fresh tomatoes and fresh onions on top of it. Kind of a southern salsa, if you will.
Yeah.
The guy.
This is so good. I'm gonna tell you right now. This meat, I'm talking about tender. We're talking about tender meat, tender, juicy, all of the flavors just explode at once. Look, I watch a lot of cooking shows, so I know what this is what you call and heat up the next day and it can still be delicious. All of that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Get on in there.
Well, listen, the next time I come to Atlanta, I certainly hope that you send something like that over to Renee. I'd be happy to be a tester for you.
We're gonna have to get you back, Chef Jay Ponder. Yeah, look, like tearing it up when the fam bam is here. I thank you so much for coming on the Distant Dining. Okay, so Snookabuka, what did you think? Like, we had some lamb chops, we had greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb chops, lamb chops, lamb chops. What's up?
Had my mouth watering. Yeah. And you know what? She said greens. I'm talking about collard greens. We're talking about collards. The
Real greens.
Those real greens.
I'll tell you right now, that meat was so tender and delicious. I tore it up. I'm talking about the bone, like, you know, when there was nothing left on the bone. Like, it was like them chicken wings where you get all the meat off the bone. There was nothing left on my lamb chops bone. It was delicious. Thank you, Chef Jay Ponder, for coming through one time for the one. Like, he's really good, you guys. Like, one time he only cooked food with salt only. And, you know, there's different types of salts that have different types of flavors. And I told him, I know you lying because I just like, I have all that seasoning in the kitchen and can't make nothing. And he had salt and made a delicacy, like a meal, a cuisine. It was unbelievable.